Chapo. All I wanna do is El Chapo.
Greetings, friends. It's Chapo, Monday, April 25th, and we're back again. Today, we are returning to, a topic, a thread that runs throughout the course of our show. That's right. We're back at the movies, but we're talking about religion, God at the movies. And today, we are considering a film that asks the important questions about man, faith, his relationship to God. And why does the Almighty give his most brutal car accidents and incurable diseases to his strongest soldiers? That's right. Hello, Mutta. Hello, Fada Stew. We're talking about the Mark Wahlberg masterpiece, Father Stew. Hello, Mutta. Hello, Fada. Here I am at Camp Torquemada. The Catholic Church is at the movies, folks. And I'll say, just right off the bat, say what you will about the Catholic Church. They make better movies than evangelicals.
No, they
Joining
don't.
us for the
No.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there.
Joining us for this discussion into faith and the cinema is, of course, Matt and Felix, as always. But joining us today, the Pot About List boys. How's it going, gang?
Hi. It's good. I'm feeling full of belief. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. This movie taught me, what happens when you risk it all for a thick Latina.
Yeah, I have a lot of comments on this movie, but first I'm going to take issue with the idea that Catholics make better movies than evangelicals. Evangelicals are always trying to make one of two movies. They're either trying to make Armageddon or they're trying to make You've Got Mail. Like they're trying to make a meet cute romantic comedy about two people avoiding hell, or they're trying to save the world. Catholics have some like artsy bullshit thing in them where they're trying to make like You Can Count on Me or some other early 2000s indie boom film starring Mark Ruffalo. The last quarter of this movie was excruciating. It was essentially a whispercore indie film about a man with Catholic ALS who the longest last 5 years of his life ever. I've never seen a worse advertisement for Catholicism for Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg and his thick Latina co-star, they had the chemistry of a Grubhub driver and a doorman who don't share a common home. This was a wretched film, and I will be awarding the titles of Wardens of the Faith to the Protestants after this.
Okay, I understand what you mean, Felix. This was a chore to get through, but also Catholics, they will put some swear words. They'll put some spice in. I give them that at least.
It was a complete chore, but luckily me and Cameron saw it at AMC. So Ryan Reynolds' Aviation Gin got us through the brunt of the first half of the movie.
I saw this with my mom at a Cineplex. I think it was called Cinemark. I had one Voodoo Ranger, and then I fell asleep.
Well, that is how they intend you to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You either have to be drinking or 100 years old to truly enjoy it to the fullest.
Either way, you will be nodding off in the theater. I disagree. I give this movie 5 bags of communion wafers. It was a journey of faith and suffering that, the message in the movie is that suffering brings you closer to Jesus Christ. And watching the movie certainly brought us all closer to God. But, this is
true. It makes you feel it. It's like just being there and listening to him.
Yeah.
You know what Christ's torments of the cross were like.
I mean, yeah, walking out of that theater, I definitely felt like I was 2 hours closer to heaven, for sure.
This is obviously a very personal movie for Mark Wahlberg. It's a great platform to launch the Hallow app, the Catholic meditation app that you can download on your phone and get daily devotionals from Mark Wahlberg. That will definitely bring you closer to God, as we'll see in this movie. Also featured in this movie is, of course, Mel Gibson. Probably Hollywood's most famous Catholic. And this movie, I don't know if you guys know this or not, is directed and written by Mel Gibson's girlfriend.
Yes.
Oh,
really? Oh my
Yep.
God.
Damn.
So this is like these are two prominent men of the Catholic faith who have suffered, they've suffered the anguishes of this fallen world of sin. They've been punished. They've been brought low. Mark Wahlberg for blinding that Vietnamese man, and Mel Gibson for the "Ard by a pack of ends" phone call. But no matter how low you fall, you are never far from God's grace. As Father Stu says in the movie, you don't need a prison guard's approval to talk to God. He'll always pick up the phone.
Well, I think the redemption is in and of the movie itself. Mel Gibson's girlfriend now, instead of that awful thing he said on the phone call all those years ago, his girlfriend is helped by a wild pack of key grips. See how things can change?
Let's dive into the film itself because I don't know how you guys felt, but I thought it was
very brave.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Very brave of Mark Wahlberg to face his biggest fear, becoming fat.
he goes. Oh, I gotta say, he goes the Raging Bull route at the end of this movie. That was really his soft.
Really, I assumed there was a fat suit.
No,
I thought they white clumpsed his ass.
It looks like prosthetics.
I'm talking about wait, the scene where he's on the toilet, and, like, can't take a shit, like where he has his man boobs and his just flabby, saggy body.
Looked like prosthetics.
That neck thing he had. Like
Okay, the neck
It seemed
thing.
like they put padding.
They
and
always
they
fuck up
definitely
the
gave him
neck.
fat fingers at the end.
His face, it looks like he got stung by a bee when you first when he's first walking around with the crutches.
Me and Cameron were really losing our minds at just how fat they decided to make him.
It was
for
crazy.
no reason.
We were talking about it like it's not like, if the real guy got fat or whatever, it's not like anybody would watch that movie and be like, well, he's not fat enough at the end. This isn't realistic.
Yeah, we were like
they disrespected him so hard. He could have just belonged to the
nobody
same
knew
the whole
the real
time.
story, and then secondly, nobody gives a fuck how fat he
You
gets.
could have just
And
kept
in
him
every
like,
scene, he just gets fatter and fatter.
And he keeps
It's
falling
true.
over.
That is really the only thing you keep with you about this guy who's a real guy is he got fat as shit.
Well,
That's
okay.
it.
But like, I mean, maybe to godless pagans like you, like you're like, oh, who would know Father Stu? But like this is a little Easter egg for the fans out there, the Father Stu heads out there,
Well,
who would
Stew
question,
crew.
like, the Stew crew.
I'm part of the Stew crew now.
Why he's suffering from ALS? Why is he still so chiseled?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
guess that's a good
I
point.
think
He
that
still has perfect cheekbones.
it's unnecessary because most people who see this movie in earnest, like, they are more likely to believe that Mark Wahlberg really died. That this happened to him. This is a recording the last 5 years of his life.
I would say this movie is a perfect example of how the myths of the Catholic Church have just gotten so dog shit. Because it used to be about miracles and stuff, and then in this movie, he's visited by Mary and Jesus, and Mary's like, "You can't die yet. God has a big plan for you." And
That guy was supposed to be Jesus?
And then the plan is that he gets a 38 BMI, and that's literally that's all he does the rest of the movie. After that point,
Yeah, he's visited by like Lin-Manuel Christ.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who also he's like his face is fucked
It's
up.
it's
for
Freddy
some reason.
Krueger Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Christ. We're jumping ahead here, but the Christ scene is awesome because like Christ sees him drink 97 beers and is like, by the way, don't drive tonight. And it's like, that has to be a force of the supernatural. That has to be a manifestation of Jesus Christ. How else would he know that he would be hit by a car tonight?
We will get to Father Stu's encounter with, as you said, Cameron, Freddy Krueger Jesus. But let's go through the movie, from the beginning. This is a tale. This is like a guy from a hard scrabble background, a former boxer who moves out to L.A. to become an actor and then immediately gets slutted out by Hollywood sickos. We can talk about that. But let's just start with, okay, I thought it was an interesting choice in this movie to have the very first scene in the movie be a drunk Mel Gibson watching a boy in underwear dance to Elvis.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And he says something about peanut butter sandwiches to him.
He
warns him he's gonna get fat at the beginning.
No, he warns him he's gonna
sandwiches.
get constipated. He won't be able to shit.
Well,
Which also
If you
happens.
eat too much peanut butter, you will get constipated like Elvis did. So you got to eat vegetables.
No, it's the
He
opening
became
scene
a vegetable.
is
It's a premonition.
I love the lore of Father Stu.
yeah. The very first scene of the movie is, Father Stu as a child dancing in his tighty whities to Elvis. in front of his dad, played by Mel Gibson, who's just like firmly planted in like a Barca lounger, just like polishing off his 12th Coors Light of the night, sucking back a pack of Marlboro Reds, and he's just going, "You ain't shit. You'll never be shit. If you don't eat vegetables, you'll never shit again, boy." and then it jumps ahead in time, and then we see Father Stu as a rough, unfinished young man who's trying to make a go of it as a boxer, this is the first of many the first of many incidents of brain damage being inflicted on him before he decides to become a priest.
Yeah, the
The very
boxing-
first shot we have of Wahlberg is him punching a black guy.
Yeah, it's literally some montage of him beating up guys of different ethnicities, just brutally.
Do you think? Okay, maybe if woke PC culture didn't step in, do you think those would have all been white guys?
I think that the boxing is like both the least important part of the story, but the most important thing towards getting this movie made. Like, I don't think Wahlberg does this if the character doesn't have a boxing backstory. And I think, like, if you made a movie where Wahlberg has to play Muhammad Atta, he would do it if you, like, made up a story where he was in Golden Gloves. It's like if he could pretend to be a boxer, he'll play any character in the world.
I think boxing is very important to this movie too, Felix, because I think for the people who made it, Mel Gibson, his girlfriend, Mark Wahlberg, and the Holy Spirit, the sort of the existential question or problem that this movie seeks to address, I truly believe, is what does the church have to offer heterosexual men?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and this is sort of a fear. This is an unspoken fear in the movie, and it's why Father Stu is an inspirational story, because it's like, oh, here's a guy who's not a pussy or so deep in the closet, you can find ice skates back there with him, that he can come to Christ and become a priest and do the rituals and say the words, and it has something to offer guys who initially become Catholic because they're trying to get pussy.
Yeah.
Wait, say which words? Because this is a Wahlberg movie.